Hello, welcome to the Cape Voice. This is Ryan Dagari here for your fourth episode. I hope you're as excited as me. This time, I have a take on the elections. I decided that Friday, instead of talking about our presidential candidate, Steven Bosch, I was going to do that today. And instead, on Friday, I'll discuss direct democracy. So, today, I'd like to take some time and basically talk about his platform. So, the first thing on his platform is about liberation. And liberation is a touchy issue because everybody has their own take on what to do. Some of us want us to go in and kick Indonesia's ass, but that's not going to happen. Some of us want to buy the region back, but we don't have that much money. Things aren't the best for us right now. We need to figure out how we're going to get this region back. Bosch, no doubt, thinks that we're going to probably have to buy it back. And I'm not sure how we're going to fund it. However, last time, we managed to bring hundreds and hundreds of gold, more than we even needed, to buy our region back originally, Limpopo. That's such a funny name for a region. But anyway, so we managed to get hundreds and hundreds of gold after making a lottery for South Africa, and we were able to buy it back. So it's no doubt that that's probably going to be a great idea that we can try. For the military, I have to say I'm crucially against military. First off, who surround us? Indonesia and Brazil. Is that not enough to just tell you that we don't need a military? Sure, they're both peace nations. We don't like peace nations. Sure, they're both assholes and have both invaded us. Sure, but are they actually going to bother to go through war expenses again to attack us and take the region? I mean, first off, we're a source of income for them. They're not going to want to attack us because they're going to lose some money ultimately, and they're just going to make us pissed off. And we can really screw up their country really bad. We almost did, but they decided to play nice. Anyway, I think that the military doesn't really need a whole lot to be looked on right now. I think that we should just have a standard armed forces that act as paratroopers who just basically train up. But I don't think we need to have a organized 100% ultra army right now because, first off, we don't have the population to support that kind of army, and secondly, it's just worthless. We're not going to be able to get anywhere in the first place. We're only accessible through our allies, and nobody can attack us. It's impossible, unless it's one of those two peace guys, Indonesia or Brazil, and they're not going to attack us. They're busy with fucking over America and shit. Anyway, for Bosch, he talks about the economy. I'm not the biggest economist. I took a stab at trying to convince people about nationalization, and this is for those socialists out there who were pissed off on my last thing. I spent a good 8 months. Yeah, I spent a good 8 months promoting nationalization of the economy. Didn't get me anywhere. So I decided to pretty much give up on that. And after I stayed at Turkey for about 2 weeks, I noticed that it's not as nice working for it's not much different in the first place, but it's not as nice as working for a regular company. A regular company, you have your boss, and he's considerate. Hopefully, if he's not, you can just leave him. If you have a high skill, like I do, personally, I have to say working in a capitalist job is better than in socialist job. I spent 7 months working in a cooperative. That means that you work for minimum wage, and because of that, you're volunteering to work for minimum wage, and that way the company that you're working for is able to put the products up for real cheap, and that helps the economy. The thing about it, though, is I didn't like doing that. I did it because I had to, because it's the right thing to do. but I didn't enjoy it. I certainly didn't get very much money, and I could certainly be a megalomillionaire if I did a regular job. Otherwise, when I worked in a, what do you call them, commune in Turkey, it wasn't the best thing ever. They didn't have, I mean, all they could do is give you a Q1 house and Q1 food, free stuff, but it's Q1. I have a Q4 house. I don't need a Q1 house. I have a Q1 house too. I don't need that stuff, you know? So, anyway, about this guy, about Mr. Bosch and his economics. He isn't much of an economist either. He actually replaced me as the director of intelligence. In April, May, yeah. In May, he replaced me as the director of intelligence after I stepped down because the administration was becoming too warlike. I didn't like that. When we got eliminated, but I'm not going to get into that. Nobody likes it when I prove that I'm a smartass. But anyway, he's not much of an economist, so he wants to surround himself with well-known economists. Then we come to direct democracy. I'm 100% for it. I've been parading for it ever since I was born. I just released an article about it. I mean, come on. I'm the biggest drive, if the only, behind it. And I've seen people promise it to me twice now. President Gabriel promised it. He never came through with it. And President in exile, Inez Scumancer, promised it, but never came through with it. So now I'm hoping that Mr. Bosch will be third time's the charm. Really look forward to it. And then for his cabinet, he'd like to add 2 ministries, 1 or 2, gives the government some more exposure, and he really wants to work on putting. Hold on, I'm reading the article while I say this. But anyway, so he's really trying to put an emphasis on including more people into the government, and that's what I like. I like a guy who likes that because the more inclusive a government is, the freer that a nation is, and that's why I'm in such support of direct democracy. If you have no idea what direct democracy is, go ahead and check out my article. It explains what a lot of it is, but in short, direct democracy means everybody has equal voting rights, which means everyone's a congressman. How does that work? Well, it doesn't work game mechanically, but we can make it work as long as we have a forum, pretty much. And we do have a forum, and because we have a forum, we can have direct democracy. Simple as that. All we need then are a couple trusted players, and we have direct democracy working. And we have that too, so whoop-de-doo. Now we just need people behind the idea. And by looking at the comments, nobody seems to be too against it. That's funny. This is really funny too, because when I ran for president, Free Africa, which was a party back then, a Republican party, they hung me out to the wolves when I ran for president, and the BLF, a lot of their members mocked my ideas. They weren't too happy about it. It's weird what happens. Now people are more into direct democracy. Certainly some of the people who didn't like it before like it now. Here's one thing, Erdworm, not my biggest fan, but he supports direct democracy for some reason, and it's weird because he used to think it was a bad idea. It's weird, how things turn out. But I just want to make sure people understand that it's my idea. I don't know. I don't understand in his article where he says that Oceania should also deserve credit. I'm not saying that he shouldn't, he's a asshole, but I'm just saying I have no idea what he's done towards it. Seriously, I have no idea. I've never seen him do anything. Well, anyway, looks like I managed to talk for 10 minutes. Wow. Okay, so I will conclude this episode, and it was fun talking, and check out my article. I think for those who are politically minded, you'll find it very interesting on how I'm using the game mechanics to my advantage. But anyway, it was fun. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next episode.